Are you being a wise steward with your time? How much television are you watching? How much napping or sleeping long evenings are you participating in? How much time are you spending chit-chatting with other people that's not necessarily chit-chat that builds other people up? It's otherwise known as gossip. How much time are you investing in feeling down and nurturing those thoughts? How much time are you nurturing the thoughts of doubt? I could go on and on. This is, are you being a wise steward with your time? Says, okay, I've identified that I'm in a negative place. I've identified that I'm feeling down and I've got big doubt. You know what? I'm going to give myself about 3 minutes and I'm done. Okay, now how do you end those thoughts? Literally, you just say, I'm done. No, not doing it. Y'all have seen me do this. At least some of you had. No. You're a liar and the father of lies. When you speak, you lie. And you just stop. No, I'm not buying it. I'm not going along with it. And I know that you may say, well, Donna, it isn't that easy. Yes, it is that easy. Yes. You may choose not to do it, but it is that easy. Well, what happens if I decide not to think it? You stop thinking it. Yeah, but it's still my reality. Yeah, but you're not dwelling on it anymore. And if you begin dwelling on the things that are possible instead of the things that are not possible, guess what happens? The things that are possible. So what are you doing with your money? What are you doing with your time? And are you being a wise steward with your talents, your gifts, your creative brilliance that we were talking about a bit ago? Are you really? Because see, here's the deal. This is how this whole life thing works. When we are faithful with a little, we will be trusted with a lot. If, however, we are not faithful with a little, we don't ever end up with a lot because we won't be able to handle it. That's how the life thing works. That's how God set the whole thing up. And the more faithful we are, now faithful means money, time, and talents. So are you being a wise steward? Because I have to tell you, and I'm saying it to me the same time I'm saying it to you, if we are truly wise stewards with our money and our time and our talents, you're just going to get more. You're just going to get more. There's just no way it doesn't happen. So if you're not where you want to be with your goals, your aspirations, whatever, you need to ask yourself, are you being a wise steward? So what's the purpose of you having this creative brilliance? If you're really honest about what you want in life, most of us will come to realize we want influence. We want to have influence over people in our lives, our members, our prospects, our friends, our families, if you're honest. Now, I am believing if you're a part of this organization that you would say you want to have a positive influence on those people. Bad things still happen to good people. And the thing is, if you take a lump of clay, you could never fathom in a million years that that lump of clay would turn into this absolutely delicate, beautiful, shiny, gorgeous, intricate, polished teacup. Never. But the clay is punched, and the clay is rolled, and the clay is kneaded, the clay is shaped, the clay is punched some more. The clay is put onto this spinning wheel, and it goes like this, where, you know, I feel like that sometimes, like my whole life is just kind of going like this. The clay is taken off of this spinning wheel, and it's put into a furnace, a hot, hot furnace. It's taken out, it's painted, fumes are horrible. Guess what? It's put back into the furnace, yet this time the furnace is hotter. The furnace keeper, by the way, watches to make sure that that furnace gets as hot as it needs to get, because the cup won't be formed into the beautiful thing that it's going to be if the furnace doesn't get hot enough. And out of this furnace comes this amazing, beautiful, intricate, delicate, fine piece of craftsmanship that was once a lump of clay. My personal realization is that there's a story that is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years old about three guys with really odd names. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Strange names. Although I don't know, in today's world, those names would probably fit right in. And they as human beings were put into a furnace, a fire. And they walked out of it. walked out of it. Now, for those of you who know the story, because I'll have to take another meeting time to tell those of you who don't know the story, but for those of you who know the story, you need to get what I'm about to say to you. They weren't rescued from the fire. They were rescued in the fire. Bad stuff happens to good people. But when we're faithful and when we're wise stewards of our talents and our time and our money, you get rescued from the bad stuff. And you don't just get rescued, you get rewarded. Last weekend, I went to, anybody in the room or on the phone, do you know what an Emmaus walk is? Any of you heard of it? Okay. It's a spiritual retreat. That's what we'll call it. And last weekend, I went on one. I am going to tell all of you within the sound of my voice, if you ever had the opportunity to go on one and you don't, you're just crazy. Because you'll never feel more loved, ever, in your life. It is as close to heaven, I'm sure, on this earth as anybody could ever get. And I can't tell you all that they do to make that happen, because it's not like just a church service. Not at all. But as I was there, I realized some things. I needed to realize some things. I needed to get away just so I could listen. And the thing that I realized is, well, let me ask you a question. And Lima, we've been through this already, so you'll know to be honest again. Have any of you in this room ever doubted anything? Now I'll explain it further. Have you doubted that the goals that you dreamed of were going to come to pass? Have you doubted that your gifts and talents really were gifts and talents at all? Have you doubted that what you hoped for was never going to happen? If you've had any doubts whatsoever of where your future is going to end up, let me see your hand. Honest room of people. Yeah, me too. Here's what I realized last weekend. If you believe the promises, if you believe greater things than these will you do, if you believe my intention is to prosper you, if you believe the things I have planned for you are bigger than anything you can think, dream, or imagine, if you believe all that, then self-doubt is God-doubt. Whew, that's heavy. That's what I came to realize last weekend. Now, okay, Donna, what are you doing? You're preaching. Yeah, a little bit. It's been a long time since I preached, so I decided it was time to start doing this again. Because I was going through self-doubt. Now, I know that usually blows people away, although if you've been around me for the last couple of years, you probably could embrace it. I've just been going through a lot of doubt. Because I got to tell you guys, just as the person that leads this organization, which is my honor to do, I see millions of people. I mean, I can see it. Millions of people being affected by what we do. I can see it. I can see it so clearly. I can describe to you what their faces look like. I can see this vision so clearly. I know this. But for the last couple of years, I thought, well, maybe it was just my pride. Maybe it was just my ego. Maybe it was just big planning, my big dreaming that I do. Maybe it's just none of it's just really supposed to happen. It is not supposed to happen. It's going to happen. But it's all about belief. It's all about trusting. Now, you got to do the work. You got to apply systems. But when you absolutely believe I got to say it again, I love it when I say this. Talk about something that builds my energy. When you have the I will not stand down belief, and that is who you are, it affects every molecule of your being. Do you have the I will not stand down attitude? Because see, the bottom line is, I'm blessed. I'm